Hey everyone, my name is Eddie Wang and I want to make this video to make clear on what buff Skarlet actually needs, because I have seen around a ton of lists for Skarlet buffs and I don't actually agree with many of the wish lists that comes around, not only because it's much different from mine, but because I don't think that many of those buffs will actually benefit Skarlet in a long run. She needs something solid, something that even if she gets nerfed in any other area, she is going to be a really solid character and fun to play. So I made this list in order to let people know what I think, because this is the only character I actually play in MK11 at the highest level. I play solely Skarlet and I grind a lot of matchups against the entire cast while playing her. So the first thing I think that Skarlet needs right now is that this move right here, the parry, needs to be across all variations. This needs to be a base move. This is the first change that I believe NetherRealm Studio should really look at. It doesn't really make sense to have a character full of gaps. This has a gap, this has a gap, this has a gap, and those are the only strings that she has. Outside of that, which is a high, but this is still manageable, because if they block the first hit, they're gonna have to block the second one. Some people want the second hit to be a mid. This is +6, mind you that this is +6 on block, and it has a pushback. So for me, I think this is okay to be a high, considering it doesn't really have a gap and it's +6 on block. So making a high mid is going to make this move a little bit broken and abusable. So I don't want this to happen. High, it's okay. Just make the parry available across all variations, and I believe it's a good start for Skarlet. Another buff that Skarlet needs, still in the parry, is that there are characters where Skarlet can really not do anything about it when they flawless block into a launch. Characters like Johnny Cage, Cetrion, Kung Lao, Kitana, among any other character that has a flawless block launch that is faster than 9 frames, she cannot do anything about it. Even at 8 frames, 9 frames, because this is 9 frame startup, and this is bad, guys. There isn't really much of a use against most of the characters of the cast, because they all have faster flawless block launchers. So this move needs to be 7 frames. 7 frame startup. With the gaps that she has, you can condition them. Either they flawless block launch you, or they respect the gaps, and this is going to create a mind game, and is going to make Skarlet a lot more unique when it comes to dealing pressure or when receiving pressure, because there are some matchups in this game where Skarlet cannot even press a button, and it's not fair, guys. Come on, we cannot use this, we cannot use this, we cannot use this, we cannot use this at all, because it doesn't matter. As long as it has a gap, we are going to get launched for it. Some people are saying cover the gaps. No, keep the gaps. Just make parry base move and 7 frame across all variations. This way we're still gonna have them to condition whether they want to use the parry, or they want to launch you, or do you want to condition them into pressure, because this is -1, right? And it's pretty much one of her best strings, but it has a gap attached to it, and we cannot do 4-4 all day every day, because it really just doesn't work. People tend to let go guard just real quick, and there is a high chance that this is going to whiff. So these are the first 2 changes, which I think is going to help Skarlet a lot. So parry needs to be a base move and 7 frame startup, and being base move, it means it goes across all variations. The other move that I think it needs a buff is the teleport. This move is trash. This move is completely bad. Sometimes you have completely vanished and you are still going to get hit by moves that are traveling, like flying kicks and whatever. So it really sucks on the startup because it's really terrible. There are moments where you need to teleport, and when you do, you're still going to get hit by anything else. It's pretty bad. Not only it's bad on startup, it's also pretty bad on recovery. As you guys can see, Johnny Cage turns around before I'm even able to do anything to him, and it's really bad. It's really terrible. So I'm thinking 5 frames recovery of each on startup. So when she vanishes, the moment she turns into blood, Skarlet shouldn't be allowed to get hit anymore, because this is bullshit, right? Because despite of we being invisible, there are moments when we are already even not there, but from that 1 frame or so, we are still going to get hit by anything. And recovery should be at least 5 frames. I don't think it needs to be this bad, guys. This is terrible. The recovery is just too bad. This is a really terrible move, and he has made worse over time. So remove the startup frames a little bit. It cannot be just 5, maybe 3, but 5 is a good number. And recovery also by 2, maybe 2 frames or 3 frames is going to be good as well. The third change is one that I think is very crucial for Skarlet players, because if she gets this, it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter much, because this is going to be one of the crucial changes if she gets it, and is that this move right here needs to crash a little bit faster. Some characters in this game can zone Skarlet in. It doesn't really make sense for a zoning character to be outzoned by other zoners, like Cetrion, Sonya, Johnny Cage, Sub-Zero, Scorpion sometimes. Some character every character that has a projectile that recovers way faster than Skarlet, she is forced to use this, and this is a counter zoning move, right? This move is supposed to dodge projectiles, but sometimes we block some of these moves and we reverse out of it with our own projectile, and we are still going to get hit by anyone else. So this move cannot be used on reaction. You have to read to use, and the startup is too bad. Is 28, so this move should crash faster. It would be good if this move crashed a little bit faster, and it would make the move such a great addition for Skarlet. And the second change is that this move right here needs to start launching whenever she amplifies it on hit. So what I'm saying is, if someone gets hit by this on amplify, this should be guaranteed, because one of the main reasons why Skarlet is so bad in this game is because she has to guess 3 times more than any regular character. Any regular character can combo from a 7 frame startup move, jab, and do a pretty big damaging combo. Skarlet cannot do this. Even if she does from 1-2 into this doesn't work. This isn't a really comboable move. So the only move that she has, the few moves that she has that combo into this is back 3, which is 11 frames. Not, it's 13. Forward 2, 2-1. No, not even 2-1 does. And standing 4. Yes, standing 4, forward 2. And back 3. These 3 moves connect with Blood Trail, and Blood Trail should be a move that allows Skarlet to continue to do combos. It doesn't really make sense that we have to guess twice. We have to condition them into poke or grab or string or grab in order to make a full combo out of this. This is not 2019 anymore. This move needs to be buffed. This move needs to launch. Skarlet needs to get a combo from this move, because some people are too mushy in this game. Some people are too rushy, and we have to keep them in the toes with moves such as this, because if we do this, we should be able to get some really decent combos, even if the damage scales a little bit, but it's still going to make a huge difference. So this is something I'm actually expecting every single patch. tend to look out to see if they actually buffed this, but they didn't. So if you are a Skarlet main and you are watching this, please push for this move to get buffed because she needs it. Another change that Skarlet needs is buff 1 being 15 frames. This move is way too slow, and his her only counter hit crushing blow move that deals DOT damage, and Skarlet DOT works well for her, especially because when you enter the DOT zone, all her combos do a lot more damage. So it's great, but this move is too slow to trigger DOTs and isn't exactly very practical. Yes, there are some instances where people are too rushy and you get to backdash out and then you just do it and works, but at highest level this isn't a crushing blow that you are going to see too often. Not only that, but if Johnny Cage, for example, jumps at Skarlet with a kick, there is a high chance that this move not even going to work as anti-air, because people tend to just to hit you out of it, and even if you do it earlier, there is a high chance that it's going to whiff. So it would be really great if this move was changed to 15 frames. It would make a great anti-air move in general, and giving it a better upward hitbox would actually help. Another move that needs this change is forward 2. Forward 2 is terrible in this game. Are you guys seeing this? This is pretty bad for a move. As you guys can see, there is a moment where forward 2 just whiff, and it's really not consistent at all. Like, what is this? Come on. So the move is inconsistent at doing anti-air, and for some freaking reason sometimes it just doesn't really work. It's inconsistent as hell. So giving a better hitbox, maybe checking it would be good. Would be extremely good if NetherRealm did this. And we are entering on the fixed territory. Just one more buff before the fixes, and the last buff is where is the AI? Yes, is this move right here. This is another move that is trash. This move is trash. There is no discussion about it. And what they did in the last patch, they added 2% more damage. Why? What does this even do? It does more damage? Is it really relevant? No, it is not relevant at all. So this isn't, the damage isn't something that Skarlet needs on regular basis for this move. Back 2 needs a different thing, and what it needs, the move can continue to be trash as it is, but the crushing blow requirement and the effect needs to change on this move. If people are getting caught crouch blocking, considering how trashy this move is, this should be a crushing blow on people trying to crouch guard on Skarlet. If people aren't catching ducking or crouch blocking, then this should trigger a crushing blow. Something that doesn't really happen in MK11, sadly, because we are forced to use a trash move twice in order to get a pretty shitty crushing blow, and it's not fair. Come on, people, there are some characters that have way better crushing blow requirements. Are you guys seeing Kitana? What they have did to Kitana? Kitana is a very good character, and still she gets buffed every single patch. Why? Doesn't really make sense. So I'm not asking for much. Just change the requirement for this. They are crush blocking or crouching. If they get hit by this, crushing blow. And the effect shouldn't be just more damage. Why? I don't need more damage for this. She just change the requirement to one of these two things. Either give her a DOT damage or change it to a launch, right? Because into launch it would be really good if because Skarlet in MK9, she used to have an overhead launcher, and she doesn't have anything that resembles that. So giving this a crushing blow launcher, like they pop up in the air like her old overhead, it would be great with the requirement that I just specified, right? It would be really great. So please, NetherRealm, take a look at this and buff this trashy move, please. And finally, we are on the fixed territory. So this animation needs to change. As you guys can see, this is pretty bad of a move that we cannot use because of the hit reaction of the back 3 is pretty bad. It's terrible. There is another one in back 1 2, sorry. This move, if for example Johnny Cage stretches a limb, this happens rarely, but it still happens. If Johnny Cage stretches a limb and I hit him on the limb, there is a high chance that this is not going to work, as you guys can see. That's because at max range, the way he's pushed it back, it's really bad for this move. And yes, it's rare, but it happens occasionally. Occasionally this happens a lot, and it's pretty terrible for the character in general. So changing the animation of these two moves into something that we can actually use in game to connect this and this regularly would be good. And this is pretty much it for my list. I don't think anything else should be added, and of course of maybe hitbox fixing, maybe give her better float on one tooth now. This will be great. This has a better float now, and it's crazy because they actually hidden buff this, but better float on this too will be great. It is right now, but just to make it a little bit more consistent. And overall, this is what I think Skarlet should have in MK11 in order to make her a great character and have 3 great and distinct variations. I would also say that this move should be across all variations, but what the hell, just with these changes I think Skarlet will be good. I wouldn't really mind if other characters would get buffed like crazy after, but with these changes, this is something that Skarlet at any level can work with, and we allow characters to have like players to express themselves a little bit different other than runaway zone, runaway fire projectiles. Sometimes people jump at us, we cannot do anything about it. We cannot anti-air, we cannot do anything. Sometimes we cannot press buttons because everyone has a faster slowly block launch than our reversal, so we cannot use it. Sometimes we get people with other different moves that they should be on the lookout, but we cannot do combos from it because we are forced to guess twice than anyone else, which on a single jab are going to give you like a full damaging combo that does at least 30% or 29, 25, anything like that. And Skarlet doesn't have that. The only decent way that Skarlet is going to get decent combos on you mid-screen is if she lands 2-1-2, which forces everyone to crouch against Skarlet and block low in order to avoid any misstep, and the only thing that you can do is poke or grab. And this is a pretty terrible concept for this character, especially because sometimes you need to stay away to start zoning and people zone better than you, and you want to play up close and people up close are still better than your character. So this is terrible, and this is why I think Skarlet doesn't function. She needs another launcher mid-screen that works, and on this move right here, on this move, we would have found our solution. This is what Skarlet needs. Sorry, this video is a little bit longer than I expected, but it is real. This is what should be done for Skarlet in order for her to be a really functional character. And of course, when she gets to the corner, she gets like different launchers. This is a launcher, this is a launcher. This not so much, but it helps on this one and on this one. And on the corner, it feels like what Skarlet should have been mid-screen. She becomes a much better character. But on the mid-screen, Skarlet sucks. It's terrible. It's really bad. It's terrible as F. That's all I'm gonna say. So check out this video, share with NetherRealm Studio, make a fuss on their Twitter about it. Do not agree with any other change, because I don't think Skarlet needs to have gapless strings. She has 4-4 for that. But instead of closing gaps on string, which isn't exactly going to solve the problem, just give her this at 7 frames across all variations, and this is going to fix a lot of issues for Skarlet. So give a like if you agree, and share this video with fellow Skarlet mains, NetherRealm Studio. Let them know that this is what you want. If you have this, you are going to play Skarlet for years in MK11, I can guarantee you, without getting too bored that the character is not enough, she is trash. Just imagine that every single player that grinded Skarlet with me during MK9 doesn't actually play her. Scar says she's trash. Raptor doesn't like her playstyle in this game, and they are rightfully so. Come on, man, what is this? What is this, NetherRealm Studio? This isn't what we played in MK9. This isn't what we used to love about Skarlet. At least hear my voice a little bit and change this character to the changes that I just presented to you. I can guarantee you every single Skarlet main is going to main her hard, is going to bring this character, because we're going to reward people for actually having more than just good fundamentals, because we are a little bit behind here. Some characters are just stupidly superior, and the thing that you are going to give her is a 2% damage on a shitty overhead that no one uses. Come on, what is this? Please subscribe to the channel. If you want more MK11 content, just share your like, leave your comments, and let me know what I should talk about next for MK11, especially about Skarlet. So see you guys on the next video.